The Muppet movies. Please welcome Mr. Jim Henson and his good friend, Kermit. Hi, Jim. Hi, Kermit.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Regis.
How are you?
Hi there, Joy.
You know, I was just out visiting to the audience during the commercial break, and
What's
a
that?
woman gave me this to give to Kermit. She says that Kermit was at her daughter's wedding 2 weeks ago, got married. Do you remember this, Jim?
No.
Kermit does so many
2 weeks ago.
things.
Kermit, you remember it,
Oh,
don't you?
yes, of course.
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Anyway,
Wonderful.
Di wanted you to have them. Let's see how you look like this. Look at them.
Listen. It's my color, huh?
Head's a little smaller,
It's
but-
really cute.
Anyway,
I love it. Thank you.
Jim, 35 years. I can't believe it.
Well, that's true. It was a long time ago. It was I had started just out of high school at that time. Yeah.
Were you one of those kid puppeteers?
No, I don't think I ever played with puppets or any of that stuff.
Really?
I made some puppets because I wanted to work on television.
I see.
You know, and so
And it worked.
I'd been watching things like Kukla, Fran, and Ollie.
Sure. But you were an art
Bertolt
student, huh?
Yeah.
And thought you could create your own guy.
Yeah.
Why a frog, Jim? I mean, Kermit was...
Actually-
Excuse me, Kermit, no offense, but...
Yeah, what do you mean?
decide
Why
to
a
pick
frog?
No, actually, when he was first made, he was all my characters were sort of abstract, and he wasn't really a frog. He was sort of a lizard-like character.
Ah.
But he became a frog when we did a show called The Frog Prince.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
And he stuck right away. He hit, huh?
Well, yeah, once a frog, then I just stayed a frog thereafter.
Ah.
You see.
Kermit, let me ask you something.
Yes.
What is your relationship with Jim?
Well, the relationship is it's very deep. It's possibly metaphysical, you see. And
That deep,
so
huh?
I've been asking myself the same question. So I went to see Shirley MacLaine actually. We're actually working on a book about it. You see? Oh yeah, it's called Out on a Limb, specifically an arm. You see. That's the book. Yes.
But he.
You know, Kermit, you're always so busy. What do you do to relax?
Oh, well, you know, I do normal stuff. I go to, you know, I wander around the city going to, oh, well, matter of fact, you know, I was listening to Kathie Lee's commercial, you know, and I tried to take one of those tours, and my travel agent made a terrible mistake, and he booked me on the Carnivore cruise.
That's bad.
Yeah,
That
it
would
was
be
very different. You know, they had this phrase that their motto was, let's go places and see interesting things and then eat them.
That's not good.
I know. I spent most of the trip, you know, hiding in my stateroom.
Do you like New York, Kermit?
Oh, I love New York.
Do you?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Sure.
What-
Us frogs, we go to Broadway shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Croklahoma. You know? Frog on a hot tin roof. You know? How green was my mother? All those kinds of stuff, you know. Sure.
That's good.
Do you think that Kermit is the most popular, Jim, of all your Muppets?
Well, it's,
you like him the
I guess when you talk about the age of kids, little kids love Big Bird. I think Big Bird is probably the most popular among the, you know, the 6 and under set.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Kermit's he's popular with a lot of characters,
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of people, and Piggy is a lot of
Who is
people
the
like Piggy.
favorite in our house?
I was going to say, excuse me, Jim, I don't know if you remember, you had Big Bird on your show
Yeah,
in Los
sure.
Angeles, and
Yeah,
you know how
right.
big Big Bird is.
Sure.
He stepped on JJ's foot, and she cried the rest of the segment.
Absolutely
goodness.
right. A fabulous story, Jim. The kids were crazy about the Muppets, and they loved Big Bird. So one day they came on my show in L.A., and Big Bird was there. And I had this epic meeting between JJ, who was about as high as
about
my
3
knee,
or
you
something.
know, and Big Bird. And Big Bird inadvertently stepped on her, you know? And JJ started to cry, and to this day, she can't look at Big Bird.
Well, you know, he
You
is...
lost one of your best
dear.
fans.
You don't realize how big he is until you see him in person.
true.
Until he steps on a kid, and then you realize how big he is.
Yes, we could have done emotional damage for life there, I guess. You know.
Has Kermit's personality changed over the years?
Oh, a little bit. I think he used to be more of a comic, you know, back in the early days. And then when the Muppet Show came along, he sort of became more of a straight man.
I like the way he's looking at you right now. I don't know
Well,
if
you
you...
know, it's, well, on the Muppet Show, I was surrounded by all these crazy characters,
Yes.
you know? And so I tended to play straight to their craziness.
Sure,
you
of
see.
course. Now, you guys are on your way to Washington, D.C., huh?
Yeah.
How'd you get involved
very
in this
special arts
organization?
Oh, well, I've known of it, and Gene Kennedy Smith sort of told me about the organization and all. It's a good group, and they're doing nice things about just bringing an awareness to people of how let's say, mentally and physically challenged people so often link up with the arts in one form or another.
That's right.
You know.
And do an excellent job in it, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, we had a kid that came and auditioned for us when we were doing Fraggle Rock in Toronto. And he came down from Nova Scotia. His teachers had actually taken up a collection to send him down. I said, please don't do this because, you know, we're going to take people from the Toronto area. And this kid came and showed up, and I didn't know at the time, and he had cerebral palsy. And he had made a little Kermit puppet of his own. It's this cloth Kermit puppet. And, you know, I said, you know. But he put it on, and he was just wonderful. He was a terrific puppeteer. He worked Fraggle Rock for all 5 years when we did it. His name was Terry Angus. And
came down and made a place for himself.
yeah, and he got married. He went back to Nova Scotia, and he has a television show of his own
No
on the air
kidding.
now.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a great story,
yeah,
Jim.
it
That's
really,
So he
it's
was
a
instrumental in
lovely
starting
story.
the whole festival, the whole special arts thing, wasn't he, this young boy?
No, I don't think so. No, he was not that connected with that. No.
No, but that's an example of how
Yeah.
this
That's
can all
great.
help people.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, it's always good to have you here. And Kermit,
Yes?
what is next for you?
What is next for me? Well, I'm off to the coast.
Off to the coast? What,
Yes.
To take a meeting? Or?
No, to take a dip. I'm an amphibian. I go swimming in the ocean out there, you see, you know.
Well,
No, I don't know. I'm just sort of hanging around, working on television stuff, you know.
that's great. You know, he never changes. 35 years he's
Yeah.
been with us, and
That's
he
true.
looks just as fresh as the day you made him.
That's true. It's a feature of people like me,
That's right.
you know.
Thank you very much
Yes.
for coming. Good to see you. Kramer, you take care of yourself, okay?
Okay, yeah, you too.
All right, big guy.
Okay.
We'll see you. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. We've got an appraisal of antiques coming up.
Tomorrow on Live, legendary singer Rosemary Clooney